Today, a journalist murdered in Tijuana, one of the most dangerous cities in Mexico. Margarito Martinez Esquivel, a crime reporter and photographer, shot dead outside his home on Monday.
Margarito was a person with a good heart. He was not a malicious person. He was always very collaborative with others, and obviously this hurts a lot.
The murder is under investigation and has not been linked to his profession. Still, the gruesome incident has journalists and human rights activists on alert. This is the second death of a journalist in Mexico less than 1 month into the new year. Journalist Jose Luis Gamboa fatally stabbed last week, known for his critique of authorities. The Committee to Protect Journalists declared Mexico the deadliest country for journalists outside of war zones, with at least 145 journalists killed between 2000 and 2021.
Why is the death rate so high for journalists in Mexico?
The most important factor is impunity. More than 90% of all crimes in Mexico against journalists and against human rights defenders never actually reach a verdict in a court of law. And this is all happening in a context of extreme violence perpetrated by very powerful organized crime groups all over the country, often working together with corrupt authorities.
Martinez Esquivel was well known for covering crime in Mexico.
He worked for several formal media outlets. He was a provider of all this information that is generated daily, and it is a great loss because he was someone who had requested the protection mechanism for journalists about a month ago, and today he is dead.
This marks the 25th murder since Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador took office. But the president this morning placing doubt on whether the attack had anything to do with Martinez Esquivel's profession.
If we analyze case by case, there is no relationship.
What does justice look like?
Well, justice is very tenuous in Mexico. We want the authorities, both state and federal authorities, to properly investigate these killings. They need to make the streets safer so that journalists aren't as exposed to criminal gangs as they are right now. It's also extremely important that the Mexican government of President López Obrador starts taking journalism seriously. He needs to find a way to coexist with journalism in Mexico in this very difficult and violent context.
All right, Zinc Clay joins us now from 30 Rock, and we can't stress enough how brave the journalists in Mexico are, especially the ones that cover crime and the cartels, because things like this happen all the time across that country. So, Zinc Clay, I have to ask you, what more is the government doing to protect journalists there who clearly are being targeted in some cases?
Yeah, Tom, that's an important question. And the Committee to Protect Journalists is emphasizing that the government is not doing enough. They want them to take action on these ongoing threats to journalism, particularly since so many of these murders have happened during the current administration's tenure. And they tell me it's not just the murders, but also the outstanding number of missing journalists in Mexico as well. And of course, Tom, these are more than numbers, right? You said it yourself. They are people. And in response to Monday's killing, there's been an outpouring of support online. We heard from a Pulitzer Prize-winning photographer, Michael Robinson Chavez, calling him in part brave and tenacious. And so journalists and human rights activists around the world are really hoping for change and justice, Tom.
All right, Zinc Clay, we appreciate that story.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.